Shalom, shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Yahweh being true name for the Father, Yahushai being named for his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Jesus Christ. I want to give double honor to our apostles, double honor to our elders, a great millstone, that taught us the truth and will well. And citations to you, hopeful like pushing this truth and honesty, sincerity. This is Brother Yawasap. Coming to you, no lesson to the spirit power, Yahweh Shemel Shai. And this lessons to the spirit in response to that nigga Alazar, did that video that he came out, said that he's no longer a Hebrew Israelite. Hey, this is 1 John 2:19. It says, they went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. But they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us. Okay, so there's a lot of hey, brother's been doing lessons like showing you, like there's a lot of spirit of fallouts, people falling out the truth, or just becoming unbelievers of this Hebrew Israelite thing. Because ultimately he was never in the truth at all anyway. In order to be in the truth, you got to be keeping the whole doctrine correctly, man. You got to be pushing and doing things the right way, all things decency and order. And this guy was coming out with all types of invented breakdowns and coming against the apostles and elders, teaching with fitted caps on, not honoring high holy days correctly, making money out of the Passover, all those things. That's not being in the truth. Okay? Being in the truth means you're doing the correct things you're supposed to be doing according to the law, statutes, commandments, and the scriptures, and having true faith. Call upon your name of Yahushai, keeping the law the best you can, because we can't perfectly keep it, but we do as best what you can, and don't try to weed around it. Teach the doctrine correctly, stick to the scriptures correctly, and don't come against your apostles and your elders. Proclaim who you are, at this truth. You're a Hebrew Israelite, knowing the tribe breakdowns, knowing the dietary laws, keeping our high holy days the correct way. All right, and not being caught up with people of the world and doing worldly things, such as bending over for your woman to take a dildo and go up in you with it. That's undesirable behavior. That's momo behavior, man. It's the same behavior as a man wanting to be with a man. You can't be doing all those things to be considered in the truth. You can't be doing none of that stuff, man. So he was never all of us at all. Okay, for one thing, he was going off when he was following GMS years ago. He was going off and he got, casted aside. And he decided he was going to do his own thing, and he started off wanting to try to somewhat keep the same doctrine. And then year after year, he changed it and changed it and changed it and added to it and took away, and it became a money scheme for him, just to make money off of getting as many followers as he can. He figured it out. He appeased to the people that were in the world that would also follow this thing, not 100%, that were also looking to gain some type of status, gain women, money in society, so he waxed worse and worse, man. Okay, till eventually he was just so far gone, man, and the Lord said that's enough. And he was doing a lot of GAY behavior behind closed doors with the wives that he had. And the Lord set him up to do that, so he can make an example of him, because he brung offense, man. The scriptures say, woe unto them that cause offenses, and he caused many offenses what he was doing. It wasn't just the fact that he was going off, but he was also causing extreme offenses, man. Making threats against the apostles and elders, slandering brothers, man. Bearing false witness against us, saying that, we're pedos and stuff like that. Hey, they were one of the biggest progenitors of that. Between them and IUIC, them two hand in hand were pushing that message heavy, and still to this day are doing that slander bullshit. We don't condone a man, going to lay with a child or anything like that. But that's the type of bull crap that they pushed about us out there, chopping up videos and editing it to try to slander the apostles and the elders, man. He was one of the leaders of that movement. So, hey, every time he would go off and do stuff like that, brothers of GMS would do rebuke videos and call this guy out and things that he was doing. And we all told you that this guy eventually he's going to fall out and that he was a false prophet. We told y'all this, man. So this right here, because we told y'all that this was happening, and it happened, is to let you know who the Lord's men are, all right? Who the real prophets are. Because we're still standing boldly, man. We don't know what's going to come of his organization. But he attracted followers that were in the same mindset of fucking up like he does. His mass following is full of carnal people that are in this thing for the wrong reasons. So, with that said, hey, that whole organization is probably just going to come crashing down. I could totally foresee a lot of people infighting amongst them, more people bringing out dirt against this person, because what this guy's about to go doing, hey, he's about to go on a tail-bearing spree, man. He's about to go on a blackmail spree, because he just said in his last video he put out that he feels that Vocab Malone was more right than any of the Hebrew Israelites. So what does that tell you? Yet, he used to come against Vocab Malone heavy just like we did. So that means now this guy is proving that he's been an agent the entire time. So that means he's been spying on everybody, all you people that's a Sakari, man, that met this dude. He's been spying you out and taking information on you, man. Because eventually he knew he was going to make this move. So now that he's out of there, he done got approached probably by Vocab, who's an agent, man. This dude worked for the feds. It's obvious. And they came to him with the bag and say, hey, look, we got an opportunity for you to make some of this money back that you're losing. I'm not saying 100% that that's what happened, because I can't bear false witness either. I'm just saying, hey, that's a likely route of where this is headed. So he's about to really turn up. They about to use the fuck out of this man, unless the Lord just deads him at this point, because he has no conviction about anything that he's done. He feels completely justified in it, and he's been enabled as fuck. So the Lord could just say, hey, that's enough. All right, the Lord could have gave him one more chance, at least live his life out and just go in the world. But now he want to turn and do even more and do worse shit. I don't know, man. The Lord might just take him out. People like that tend to don't live too very long, man. Because the Lord doesn't play about his prophets. That's directly offending the Heavenly Father when you come against his men. So it's a scary thing, man. Scary thing to see. This is Matthew 7:16. You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits you shall know them. And he produced a lot of bad, rotten fruit, man. A lot of distorted fruit. And that fruit, some of them seeds sprung up to defiled trees. So now you got a congregation of wicked, evil men, and some of those wicked, evil men done branched off, and they done started other organizations. Now you got one called Genesis. That's a branch off of that. And them niggas is just as wicked, man. They fucking up the doctrine just as bad, if not worse. And them guys, they were just obsessed with wanting to be the top guy. So they couldn't wait, for Sakari to slip up and Alazar to slip up and fall down. So that they could rise up to take the spot and bring some of his followers over with them and get a piece of that pie, that money he was bringing in. It's all corrupt, man. This is why you just keep it simple, stupid, man. You just stick to the doctrine. Just teach the word, man. Go out to the highways, hedges, and teach. This is what happens when you bring all this filthy lucre sake stuff into your ministry. Superfluity. Being extra. Trying to be all fly with the clothes, the garments, the money making, the fitted hats and rap videos. None of that's in the scriptures for the prophets to do. None of it. Not one thing that they did is part of that. Except for teaching at the highways and hedges. That's part of it. But everything else that they was doing, man, that shit was all off. All that shit was added to make some money. And that's why Yahushua, he got so mad and he went to the temple and he said that he started turning the tables over and cursing them out in there and whipping them with a cat of nine tails. A cat of nine tails is like a device used to punish, to beat people with. It's like a whip with multiple whips on it. You read the account with the scriptures. It says that he went in there and he got that mad, man. So he was whipping them. And he said, "You turn my house into a den of thieves, man." Start turning over the money tables. He wasn't with it. Because that's the type of crap that them guys was doing with Sakari and IUIC and GUCC, all them other false camps is what they doing today. And the scriptures, scriptures don't lie when it says, there shall many false prophets shall arise and deceive many. And sure enough, he sure did that shit, man. He sure in the hell did. Deceived many, many, many. This guy's an agent, man. I don't trust his ass at all, man. And I don't trust nobody that wanted to be a part of that organization. If you stayed in it for some time and you couldn't see through the bullshit when he started coming out with all them false ass breakdowns and stuff and coming against the apostles and elders, and you still stayed a part of them, I don't trust you. And I don't want to be around you at all. Plain and simple, man. This guy was justifying, the men teaching with their head covered, with them fitted caps on. That's off. And those are just little laws that this guy was blatantly outright breaking. He taught the scriptures for his own belly, man. And that's what wicked men do, man. They showed you that in that movie they came out with, the Book of Clarence, on how a man can self-proclaim himself to be a prophet and use his platform to make bank off the people and do a bunch of tricks and stuff like that. It showed you that. So in reality, he was no different than a mega Christian church pastor lying to the people, get millions off tithe money. And he showed you on camera that he was making well over 6 figures. Alazar, man, he exposed himself at that point. He just laid it all out, and you still got freaking zombies out there feeling sorry for this dude. Why? Because they the same too. They together, man. Forget the scripture. I'm driving right now, but it talks about that. Two of the same people. They walk together. The blind leadeth the blind. They fall into a ditch, man. So it's not surprising, man, that this stuff happened. It's not surprising. It's just shocking to actually see it with your eyes. See somebody that, seen it from the beginning, man. Because when I first came into the truth, that's when he basically had created his own thing and just created this Sakari shit. It's when I first came in. So I saw the progression of this dude. I've seen him from when he started, from start to finish is where I seen it go. You know? And around the same time is when IUIC was blowing up big too. It was him, it was basically Sakari, and IUIC. Them were the two other organizations that identify as being Hebrew Israelites. And at that time, they still called upon the name of the Lord and everything, both of them. Called upon the name of Yahweh and Yahushai. And over the years, it's sad to see and just disgusting to watch how far off and far away that these groups have came. So IUIC, man, you next too, man. Watch one of your mega leaders and get out of there, man. And we done seen it with Bishop, what they call himself Bishop Kanai, the big scam that he had going on. They let his ass right back in there. It's crazy, man. Can't make this shit up, man. So the scriptures say that thy eyes shall see thy teachers. And when it says that, it's talking about the real teachers. And if you don't know who they are at this point, then you might as well just fucking go back into the world, man, because you bullshitting. You're not being diligent. And you're not spiritual if you ain't got it figured out by now. Unless you're somebody like brand new, you just heard about a Hebrew Israelite and you just got the name of the Lord. Okay, you're an exception. You don't know what's been going on with these false prophets. But for you other people, man, you done been in for like, a good year, a few months, and you've been diligent watching lessons and videos, you should know what it is. And you should know if you fall in the right people or not. If you don't, you bullshitting. You're not being diligent. So hey man, it's also beautiful to see prophecy being fulfilled, because the Lord is starting to dismantle these false camps. And he's weeding out and he's sifting wicked people, even amongst the smallest level, even in our personal lives. I've experienced other people in my life being weeded out and sifted out of my life that ain't right within the spirit. The season of betrayal is very high right now. The stench of betrayal in the air is very high within this past 2 years or so. A lot of betrayal going out. People falling out. The truth, man. Coming on videos talking about why I'm not a Hebrew Israelite anymore. Just coming up, just trying to justify publicly to make them feel better about themselves because they know they made the wrong decision. Because they didn't want to live up to the standard. And then they go back in the world and it only feels good for a moment. It only feels good for a moment. That's the way Satan does. Satan lies to you. He deceives you. He gives you a temporary high. That's just like drugs. Drugs are poisonous to you. Yeah, you're going to feel real good. You might smoke. You might get that buzz. You may try marijuana. You may try, whatever. Even alcohol. Let's say you try alcohol. When you start getting that nice buzz and you feel drunk, you feel all calm and happy and, you feel relaxed and chill. But guess what? It's just temporary. And the more of that you took, once it wears off, you get what they call a hangover. Or you crash. And then you feel sick and you feel terrible. That's the same thing of what these people are going to start going through and experiencing when they quote unquote fall out the truth. You stop believing in this Hebrew Israelite thing and you choose to go back into the world. It feels good for a moment, but as time passes, you're going to remember what attracted you to the truth in the first place. And if you're anybody that has any type of belief in the Lord, that's going to be a crushing feeling to know that you just betrayed him, because you can't come back from that. The scriptures say that him that take his hand off the plow and looking back is not fit for the kingdom. That's why you got niggas that come back around like Chief Priest. What was it? Oh, that nigga, what word is this thing? HOI or some shit, man? Chief Ephraim is his name. Salakia. That's what he goes by, Chief Ephraim. Nigga fell out for years. All of a sudden, he be coming back here and again. Why? Why does he do that? You know he fucked up, man. So he figured if he tried to come back again here a little bit, makes him feel better about himself, but he doesn't want to fully keep the thing and still hanging on to being wicked, so he doesn't want to be accountable, so still doesn't keep the scriptures, man, and comes back and fucking shit up, man. That's the way it go, man. That's the way the cookie crumbles, man. But hey, keep watch, man. We're gonna see what's gonna happen out of this. You know, if you're a part of Sakari, man, or you know people as part of, stay away from that shit as far as you can. That's the best advice I can give you. So with that, Lord's will, lessons edifying. I'm gonna close out. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, by Shem Kakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone, ties to truth and will. And salutations to you, hopefully pushing this truth and honest sincerity. Shalom.